I played so many beat 'em up games on the NES. In the part 2, we covered games like Double Dragon 3 and Fist of the North Star. God damn, that game was complete trash. So let's see how many games are complete trash in part 3, or some of them can be really good. So let's see of these 10 NES beat 'em ups in the part 3. So I guess we should get started, right? I don't want to waste too much of your time. But if you're watching this for the first time, don't forget to hit the like button because I'm really covering all of these NES beat 'em ups that nobody has ever done, I guess. So yeah, let's get started. This hybrid of side-scrolling combat and RPG exploration stands out for its ambition. The weak point system in battles adds depth, though its execution can be very clunky. The world map, towns, and dungeons create a sense of adventure. Sadly, platforming sections are awkward and frustrating. The graphics are very plain, the music is very repetitive, combat can be slow, but there is a charm and variety, I guess. A flawed but an interesting experiment I think this game has, and it deserves solid C on my list. Solid freaking C. A solid evolution of previous game with smoother mechanics and full party system. Each character feels distinct, making combat more strategic and less competitive. The RPG elements feel better balanced and exploration and fighting is really interesting in this. Controls still have a lot of stiffness but are more manageable, I would say. Visuals and musics are improved but it also adds some flavor. The story progression feels more like cohesive at the times. A refined sequel that delivers. This game solid goes A on my list. This brawler tries to capture the brutality of anime but struggles on every level. Combat is very sluggish, animations are rough, the stages repeat too often, enemies lack variety, and background details is so minimal. Controls feels very unresponsive in this game, especially during the critical moments. Fans might enjoy the visuals and setting, but others will bounce off fast. The sound design is also grating. Only for hardcore Fist of the North Star fans, and this game goes solid D on my list. Solid freaking D. A bold move to go hand in hand instead of shooting. It just doesn't fully succeed. Combat feels clunky, especially without analog controls. Level variety is a plus, with the vehicle and underwater sections adding spice. Co-op is where it shines, bringing chaotic fun despite janky mechanism. Visuals are great and the game has some nice set pieces. Hit detection and difficulty balance are off. Enjoyable with a friend, frustrating alone. This game deserves solid B on my list. A weak NES port of popular arcade title, hampered by technical limitations. Graphics are muddy and fail to capture the arcade feel. Transformations are slow and underwhelming. Combat is floaty with poor hit detection. Soundtrack is lackluster, lacking the arcade's energy. Levels are repetitive and enemy variety is minimal. Worth a look for curiosity only, I guess, and I think this game goes solid D on the category, I would say. Solid freaking D. I can't just give it too much. This movie tie-in has brief fun moments but fails short overall. Starts strong with tournament fight but also develops into repetitive street brawlers. Controls are stiff, especially during the platforming. Mini games are cute but very shallow. And the AI feels so random and unfair at the times. Visual and music are functional but forgettable, I would say. A mediocre game that can't quite kick its own greatness, but this game goes solid C on the category. That's the only justice I can ever give to this game. A cinematic classic focused on timing, tension, and realism. And you know what? This game is one of the interesting fighting games, or I would say the beat 'em up fighting type of game I've ever seen. The animations are very smooth and stylish for the NES standards. No music during the gameplay. It's just which adds a lot of serious tone, I would say. And you know, it's like the one character is waiting for you over there, and it just gives you like the heartbeat over there, like how the cinema goes into this game. The combat is very deliberate, but it's only good for button smashers, I would say. It's very slow paced, but it's very rewarding if you're really patient. And I think so this game is historically important and still artistically impressive. And this game deserves solid A on my list, I would say. Solid freaking A. This game is great. A fast, polished, and iconic side-scrolling beat-em up, I would say. Combat is simple but very satisfying, and each floor adds a new challenge. Controls are incredibly responsive, perfect for arcade-style play. The music is catchy and memorable. Graphics are very clean and crystal clear, keeping action easy to follow. Short but endlessly replayable with high score potential. One of the best early NES games, I would say. A classic by Irem, you know, the Irem Corporation, you know, Irem Corp. And this deserves solid A on my list. Solid freaking A. Kung Fu Hero is quickly top-down action game that delivers fast-paced, chaotic fun. You punch and jump through room after room of bizarre enemies and traps. Controls are quick but feels twitchy, imprecise at times. Power-ups and hidden items add extra layer of surprise and variety. The colorful, cartoons-like graphic gives the game a unique and playful style. Co-op mode turns the madness up notch, and it's easily the best way to play. While it lacks a deep story or objective clearly, but the randomness makes it strangely addictive. It's a weird little jam that stands out amongst the NES brawlers. Solid B on my list for this game. A solid freaking B. Last Action Hero is a side-scrolling beat-em-up based on the Arnold Schwarzenegger film. At the same time, the game strips away the movie's humor and fantasy elements, leaving behind a very dry and repetitive experience. You play as Jack Slater, punching and kicking your way through the endless waves of generic enemies. There are no weapons or power-ups, which makes the combat feels very stale quickly. The controls are very stiff. The hit detection is very poor, leading to the frustrating moments. The level design is bland, and the enemies repeat too often. The music tries to be intense but becomes grating super fast. It's a forgettable adaptation that misses the fun and over-the-top charm of the movie. I think this game deserves solid E on my list. I would say this game is trash. Ew, it stinks. So that's it from my side, guys. If you really like this video, then do not forget to hit that like button over there. If you really made this far, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, of course, and keep on gaming and keep on loving the NES, I would say. Yeah. Bye 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 bye. Take care.